Okay, I don't have a beer. We're on a work breakaway with some colleagues, and Springboks are playing Tonga on Sunday. So we picked a bit of a sort of a mixed A-B team for Sunday's game, and a few interesting talking points, like guys that really would want to put their hand up for Sunday's game to possibly play in the quarterfinals. So as Sportstats, we've discussed a few things that we'd like to see. We still don't really like the mix of the very small wingers, especially against French players that are massive. They have both their centres are over 100 kgs, big wingers, big ball carriers. Ovilon plays on the flanker and he's over 100 kg, so we need guys that can defend close to the line and stop those big units. So we were actually calling possibly for Kane and Moody at 13, Makazole Mapimpi back in the team. I still like Willie to create tries for the Springboks. Damien Willems has done very well, but he does a few silly things, like against Ireland where he beat Gary Ringrose on the outside. He created the overlap for himself, created a 3-on-1 overlap and then kicked the ball. I think if Willie had the ball in that situation, he would have passed at the right time to the right player and there would have been a much bigger chance for a try in that situation. So I hope that quite a few guys shine and that there's a bit of a rethink in the backline. Obviously there will be comments, there will be people who disagree. And then obviously the biggest talking point of all is Handré Pollard, who absolutely needs to have a good kicking game. That is the most important thing. That if he has a good kicking game, that would make the work of the selectors a lot easier. If he does not have a good kicking game, if he has a bad game with a T, then we're back to square one, where we're not sure whether we should play Manie Libbok or whether we should play Pollard. In my mind, still Pollard with the bigger frame, 90 odd kg player, and a very important channel where Manie Libbok got beaten by Bandi Aki. Bandi Aki ran straight over him against Ireland. He's only 72 kilograms. I think it's important that we need a bigger, more solid guy to defend that channel. And if it's someone that is a good goal kicker, that obviously just gives you such a big advantage. It's such a big plus. The rest of the team, interesting. Definitely for the first 60 minutes, we need guys that are better at breakdown. So starting with Dwayne and Dion Fourie gives us a lot more options to steal the ball on the ground and compete better at the breakdown. I would also like to possibly see Dwayne start ahead of Jasper Wiese in the quarterfinal, just because he's just better at the breakdown. He's a more natural ball stealer than Jasper, although Jasper stole one ball against Ireland. I think Dwayne gives you more. That might be a bit of an out there statement to say. I would even possibly say start with Dion Fourie and have Bongi and Bonambi on the bench. Dion Fourie for the first 50. For the same reason, to give us more options at the breakdown, because we were found wanting against Ireland, where we played the first 50 odd minutes with not a single natural ball stealer for those first 50 minutes, and then we were already behind playing catch-up rugby. The rest of the team, Marvin Ori gets a run. Ibn Itzebet, happy for Vincent Koch to start the game. Very interesting to see Dion Fourie start from the beginning. And like I say, I would actually like to see him start, just because he is a natural fetcher, more of a natural fetcher than Bongi. But that won't be a crisis. And like I said, I hope Kane and Moody has a very good game to possibly also start. But those are my opinions. Mapimpi as well, important for him to have a good game. And we'll have to wait and see. It's going to be interesting. And obviously we have to win the game with a bonus point by 4 tries to guarantee our spot, second spot in the pool and a spot in the quarterfinals to then play France. So important to get that bonus point. And that's why we couldn't go for a full-out B team, because we need to win the game, and we need to win the game well. And then just one or two other talking points. Obviously, we didn't make a video after the Australia-Wales game. And a lot's been said in the media about Eddie Jones. I feel a little bit sorry for the guy, and in a different way I don't. I believe that he should have picked some of the old heads like Michael Hooper, Quade Cooper, Len Ikitau, to make sure that he at least has a decent World Cup. I don't believe you start your rebuilding time in a World Cup. You wait till the World Cup is over and then you can start rebuilding, and he's paid the price. So he said in the press that he's willing to take other jobs, and if that happens, it will just put Australian rugby in more of a difficult position, because then they've only had a coach for such a short period of time, and Dave Rennie was actually doing a good job. Won't go back into that job after the way he's been treated. So they're just going backwards. And people have said in the press that too many players are going into league and this and that. Those are things that Rugby Australia need to sort out, because we need a country like Australia to do well. They've got great World Cup pedigree, and this is not acceptable. They've been terrible, and it looks like Wales will be number 1 in that pool and Fiji number 2, and Australia will go out. So, yeah, sorry for them. Sorry for Australian rugby, but not really sorry for Eddie Jones. He should have made better decisions. And then just on Antoine Dupont, who's looks like he might play in the quarterfinals. He's had surgery. We said beforehand that they're probably going to get the best surgeons in the world to work on him. They put a plate in on his fractured cheekbone, and they're going to design some sort of mask for him to play in so that he does play in the quarterfinal. Not good for the Springboks, because he is definitely the best player in the world at the moment. But good for rugby, good for France that he's there. But to be quite honest, we would have liked it if he wasn't there. But yeah, so yeah, go Springboks against Tonga. Very, very important for certain players to show what they can do to prove themselves to get picked for France, for the France game in the quarterfinals. Cheers.